Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brendan Hausler with Evoke Bike. So we are back with part 2 to 5 blocks to racing. So if you are towing the line in February, March, this is a good series for you. We're going to be in block 2 for November. Check out the PDF where we ran through October. And we're going to break this down again into gym, midweek rides, and weekend rides. And back in the gym, you still want to be doing 2 to 3 lifts a week. If you have never lifted before, I would definitely continue to go through an adaptation phase where you're focusing on stability, balance, form. It sounds super corny, but you really want to nail that before you start adding any plates on there. You can use the bar, but you can do and accomplish a lot with body weight if you haven't lifted before at all, and you will still be very sore. You're going to get a lot of the benefits. And even if you do any program like the GZCLP, which we do, which is linear progression, or something like strong lifts, it's going to have you start at a weight that's appropriate for you. But I just think that from my own experience in coaching a lot of athletes who are cyclists that decide to lift, and that's a very smart thing to do, you want to take it slow and you want to get the form down, and 4 weeks is probably not going to be enough for you. You want to go through and do it for 8 weeks. With that being said, if you have lifted, start adding the plates, and hopefully you continue to lift all year long. The benefits are massive. So midweek rides, we're still doing longer tempo, progressing to sweet spot. That's really the only time during the year that I have athletes ride sweet spot wattages for the most part. There's a few exceptions. And that, kind of drips also into the third block in December, where then we start adding in some VO2 max bursts and whatnot. But you also want to start looking at some high torque work, some overspeed work, so different cadences. You definitely want to get an FTP test in there. And really, that's something that I would do right off the bat. So you're remembering to come off a rest week. These blocks assume, and maybe I should put this in there and not assume, after you do the 3 weeks of work, you're going to take a regeneration week or a rest week or an absorption week or a week when you are literally reaping all the benefits from the hard work you just put in. Because remember, you do not get harder from the workout. You do not get stronger from the workout. You get stronger when you rest and recover, absorb that training, and come back stronger. So the rest week is super important. So in week 5, I'm going to straight off the bat do a 2x25 max effort. I don't call it an FTP test, even though it really is. Just get a sense of where you're at, and it'll be interesting to see what can you hold the second time versus the first time. It'll probably go down from what you're used to have, your number that you're used to during the season, and that's okay. This is really not a time to be crazy smashing. Tempo stuff, getting out to 50, 60 minutes during the week still. All your focus is really on the lifting, whether you're lifting Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or maybe Tuesday, light Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday. Find something that works in your life. Sweet spot stuff, you're doing about 45 to maybe 60 minutes during a session. Longer tempo, get it out to 45 minutes. Try and do it all in one whack. Those are not easy rides. If you're riding at 90% for 45 minutes, that's a great workout. So I think sometimes I never call this the off season. There really is no off season in endurance sports. This is aerobic foundation work. It's not an easy workout. So, one thing that we're going to be going through November and December, and there's a lot of holiday parties. There's eat a couple cookies. You don't have to eat the whole plate of them. Have some of the foods that aren't the best fuel. I usually wouldn't eat a burger and fries midweek during the summer, because if I'm trying to go hard the next day, it's just not the best fuel. And if I really want to be optimized and I'm trying to hit new peaks at age 38, I'm going to be 39 next year, I need every benefit that I can get, or every little boost and help, and a burger and fries isn't it. But if I only have to go to the gym and I'm doing some endurance riding afterwards, now's the time to satiate that hunger. Just eat one burger though, and one order of fries. Don't get a Coke with it, and don't eat ice cream that night. Pick and choose your battle. Eat ice cream the night that you get a salad. This is the time to enjoy that type of stuff. And I think it's really good for the mind's sake to not have to worry about food all the time. I'm not a fan of like calorie counting. I'm a fan of educating yourself on calories. So that's a whole other video in itself. But just don't put on a ton of weight during the off season. It's not worth it. And it makes it really hard to take off come January. And a lot of athletes do that, and so many struggle. And the ones that have just a little bit of discipline, like, hey, I'm not going to go full send on every horrible thing, every vice that I want to do every single night. They just come out in such a better, they're ready to train, you know, they keep the training going. Okay. And then, then your 8th week is the rest week again. And you know, the underspeed, overspeed stuff is really good for the neuromuscular connection in your body. So though that is a workout that most athletes skip, if they skip something, they see cadence and they're like, that's not important. And that used to be me. It is very important. It makes a difference. And the high torque stuff was really beneficial for me this year. So weekend rides, still extensive aerobic. And one thing, if you're not using WK and you're like, what the hell is extensive aerobic? Really, we're trying to get you to ride an interval longer. And some people might disagree with me on this, but when we're first starting out and we're doing the first one, say 30 to 45 minutes in duration, and it's just below FTP, like doing a sweet spot interval, I don't really want you to start extending that time so much. As you start working out and trying to do like a 120-minute interval. Seriously, it sounds insane, but it's super fun, but do it at tempo. So like if you're doing a 30 to 45-minute one, sure, go 94%, sweet spot. As you elongate that 60 to 90 minutes, make it like 91 to 92%. Those percentages, it's like, dude, it's 1%, it's 2%. It actually makes a difference. You'll notice a difference as you hone in on these. But once you get down to, let's say, I think in my 7th week, I actually am going to do a freestyle tempo that time. The weekend before, I'm going to go from 90 to 120 minutes at 88%. So 88 to 90%. 90 would be tough. And if you're already there in week 6, that's pretty good. But that's really good, actually. Just make sure that you're not getting, I don't want to say too fit. I don't think aerobic fitness is something that you can always have and use. Just make sure, I should say it this way, just make sure it's not making you so tired that you're doing that, you're adding 3 hours, you're riding, with your buddies on Sunday, Monday comes, you're totally wasted, and Tuesday you're like, damn, I'm kind of tired for the gym. The focus is still on the gym and getting strong and aerobic work. You don't need to be doing more than 90 to 120 minutes of tempo. So that's the message there. And then, have the other ride be a long base miles ride. And so really when we go through these off seasons, or people say like, it's base season, the connotation is, hey, I'm just riding endurance. Like, no, there's still work to be done. Like riding at 90% is not a cakewalk, and doing it for a long period of time. I mean, I just did a 40-minute effort yesterday or the day before. And by like 30 minutes, I was like, okay, yeah, like here we go. But it's super fun. Like you're riding fast, you're not killing yourself, but you should definitely feel it a little bit. This stuff definitely helps. And I'm obviously a huge fan of it from you saw the PRs I set with this. But for recovery, holy cow, especially in the gym, highly recommend it. I use it for before and after when I get out of the shower. So definitely check that out. Lactigo is amazing. So I think that hits all the points. Then we're going to get into December. January and February, we'll really try and talk about it as an open book because there's going to be a lot of different scenarios. I still think even if you're not racing until June, you want to come out in the spring. This is really for like the Southeast, Southwest people. You want to come out in February and March and be ready to rip because your friends are going to be. And no one likes showing up and getting dropped right off the bat because there's a lot of mental stuff that goes on in the sport. And if everybody's waiting for you every time, they're probably going to stop calling you to ride with them, number one. But if it's a race and you get dropped all the time, you're going to be really down on yourself. It goes back to what we talked about in the first one. We're all out there those first few races, like getting that litmus test, like where am I at? Even if you were planning for something later in the summer, you can still be fit early. It doesn't mean that you have to come out flying and peaking and all this crazy stuff, but you want to be able to be in shape. Don't be the cookie monster, okay? Have a great one. Email me with questions. Brendan at Evoke Bike. Brendan20 is going to get you a discount on Lactigo. It's 100% guaranteed, so try it. And if you don't love it, send me your bottle and get your money back. All right, I'll talk to you later. See ya.